Hello, welcome. Hey, Denalid. How's it going? I hope you're having a good start to your week and that you had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend, other than, not being able to do the last two streams because of the internet not working great. But if my numbers are telling me anything, it looks like it's doing a lot better today, and I hope you agree. So today we're starting on a new series that actually it isn't brand new from Drumeo. It just unlocked today. Today is literally the first day I'm allowed to do this. So yeah, this is exciting. And sight reading is something that I'm really big on. I think it's really useful to be able to quickly read a piece of music because then you can learn it faster. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Let me turn off my pedal. I might need to move the camera depending on the layout we're working with. All right, let's start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first practice of Sight Read Songs in 30 days. So in this course, we're really going to focus on reading sheet music. I'm going to try and give you a lot of tips and tricks as we go along so that the next time you sit down to play a song, maybe it's a little less daunting, hopefully. So that being said, this course is not so much about learning different grooves or fills. So we're not going to focus a lot on like what patterns we're playing or the coordination required. It might feel a little more like we're kind of jumping right in the deep end. I'm going to throw some notation up on the screen and we're going to sight read it right away. But in my experience, that's the best way to get better at sight reading and the best way to get better at reading notation. So there's a lot of resources you could use alongside this course here on Drumeo. Things like Sheet Music 101 to help brush up on your basics.
So, surprise, surprise, the best way to practice how to read is reading. And it seems obvious, right? But I was talking to somebody just the other day. I'm like, the best way you're going to understand how the notation that you hypothetically know what it is because you know where all the notes are, you know note values. The best way you're going to be able to take that information and be able to use it to start reading sheet music is to go and start reading sheet music. And then, like 3 days later, he put out a song cover, and that made me happy.
10-day drum fills with Domino to learn some of these fills that we're going to play. Things like groove coordination or groove independence with Brandon Taves to learn some of the grooves that we're going to play. But what we're really going to try and do here is learn some tips and tricks that help when reading a song. All right, one more thing I want to mention. If you look right below this video, you'll see a practice button. Now, if you hit that, that's going to expand the sheet music into a full page view. Now, especially if you're on a computer or a tablet, that'll make it a little bit easier to look ahead, which is one of the things we're really going to focus on in this course.
Well, if he's specifically suggesting it, then we're going to do that. Really? We couldn't load the video. Oh, that's not very helpful, is it?
So if that helps, I encourage you to do so. All right, so all that being said, let's jump right in. You're gonna see 4 bars pop up on the bottom of the screen. Take a look, I'll give you a couple seconds. We're gonna play through this and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and. All right, so nothing too crazy just yet, right? So we have 4 bars of a money beat on the hi-hat. So hopefully when that line popped up on the bottom of the screen, your eye was able to track, first of all, that it was just 4 bars, but hopefully you noticed that it was 4 bars of the same repeated pattern. So that's one of the things I'm gonna say throughout this entire course is always watch out for repeated bars whenever it happens. It's kind of one less thing that your brain has to keep track of, and it makes it a little bit easier to kind of anticipate any changes that are coming up in the future. So that being said, here's 4 new bars. Take a look. So look for any repeated patterns, but look for any changes. Ready? Take a second. All right, here we go. Let's play these 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there you go. So hopefully you caught that. We added a crash cymbal on the first beat of the first bar. And then you might have noticed we looped those 4 bars over again. That's because we have a repeat sign at the end of the line. So you may have seen it's a double bar with 2 dots. So hopefully from the first example, you started to learn that that money beat pattern repeats. So what I want to encourage you to do is always look ahead so that you're not caught off guard by things like crash cymbals or repeat signs, right? So let's do the same thing one more time and try not to focus so much on the bar you're playing, but try to look forward so you anticipate that repeat sign. It might be a little bit easy now that we've done it once, but let's get a little bit of practice looking ahead.
I did notice it.
Thing. All right, let's take this one step further and introduce a new kind of notation. So take a look at these same 4 bars, and now that you'll notice that the 3rd and the 4th bar actually have what kind of looks like a little percent sign in there. And what this means is to repeat the previous bar. So this is kind of a shorthand way to make it a little bit easier to keep track of what we're reading. And for us as drummers, I always thought this actually makes it easier to read a song.
I disagree. This actually makes it harder for me.
Because when you see those signs, you know, well, I just have to play this same measure this many times, right? It's one less thing for us to keep track of. And you can go on, again, I'll say this over and over and over. You can start to look ahead so you're not caught off guard by anything coming up in the music. So now you'll see bars 3 and 4 have these repeat signs. And all that means is we're going to repeat bar 2 3 times in total. And we have the crash cymbal on beat 1 of the first bar. So now let's try it again. We're going to do the exact same thing, but looking at it a new way on notation. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we've learned about single bar repeat signs. We've learned about section repeat signs. We've started scanning ahead. We've started tracking patterns and repeated patterns. Let's try something new. So take a look real quick. You're going to see 8 bars pop up on the bottom of the screen. I'll give you a second. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, very nice work. So I warn you, we're going to jump right into reading a whole lot of sheet music in this course. So that time, hopefully, when those 2 lines popped up on screen, your eye kind of scanned ahead. First thing I would look for is, oh, it's 8 bars. It's 2 4-bar phrases. That really helps me. I would notice that the whole thing is now on the ride cymbal. I would try to pick out any repeated bars. So as you notice, bar 3 and bar 4 of each line are repeated. So that's one less thing we have to track. And then also watch out for the crashes, right? Crashes at the beginning of the phrases. And we added an extra kick, right? So very common drum groove, but now we're going to continue adding more and more to each of these examples, right? So hopefully you're able to track all of that. Let's try that one more time now that we've talked about it. Here we go. 1, 2, right, great work. So to wrap up our first practice, I want to leave you with a little bit of a challenge. So every video in this entire course, I'm going to give you a chance to put your skills to the test. So you're just going to see sheet music on screen. I want you to try and play along on your own. I'm not going to be playing with you. But if you come back in the next video, we're going to start off. I'll play along with you to today's challenge. You can see how you did. You can see how your sight reading skills are coming along. So good luck. Here you go. You're on your own. I'll see you in the next video. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I hate it when it does that, when it pops this up before the video is actually done. Like, and I've seen people complain about this in the comments of other videos. So I don't know why they're still doing it. It's really annoying. But yeah, that's day 1. On Wednesday, we will be doing days 2 and 3. So that should be exciting. But until then, we're going back to the method. And today we got some Simon Says. Actually, you know what? That is going to be next. I forgot that we still have a couple of sections left in styles. All right, so we'll be getting to Simon Says probably next time or on Friday. So, whoops, that's my bad. Okay. So, you already know that I'm not super excited about country, but who knows, maybe I can find something here that I can use in my other genres.
So now that we know our country grooves, it's time to jump into these country fills. These triplet-based fills will work across multiple genres, but they're going to work fantastic with the country shuffle grooves that you know. The first one that we're going to play is going to use that pea soup sound on the and of 4. So let's play that at our slow tempo. 1, 2, 1. Here's that same fill at a faster tempo. Now this next groove we're going to play is the absolute workhorse groove for me whenever I'm playing a shuffle, whether it be country or blues or whatever. The hardest part about learning this fill is understanding where and when we go to the tom-tom. So let's break this down. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, Let me play that. One more time. Ready, go. Once you understand that, putting the 4, 1 on the snare drum will be easy. It's going to be play that at our slow tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next fill is a very driving fill, and it starts on beat 3, so it's a slightly longer fill. This is going to be the thing to remember with this is that we're playing 3 and 4 and you got to bring that left hand up to the tom. So it actually starts hi-hat here, 3 and 4 and 1. Let's play that at our slow tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play that with our faster loop. Make sure to keep the notes.
I keep hitting my snare drum when I go to do that. That's no good. All right, so let me see. See, here's the problem, right? This is a logistics problem. So I've got my right hand over my left hand, or right stick over my left stick. So the thing I have to do is hi-hat, snare, snare, tom, tom, tom. So I just need to get used to the logistics of that motion for a sec. And also get the notes right. I think I got the hang of it now.
That you're playing on the toms really strong. And I would give you that same advice for every groove that you're playing around the drums. So our fourth fill in this section uses the right, left, left triplet, which is a very useful element in and of itself. I could use that going. In this case, I'm going to use it offset so that I'm accenting the of the beat. So it's going to be. Once you understand that, we're going. That's our rhythm there. So let's play this one at a slow tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I need to work on that transition for half a second. it's actually harder than I realized. Okay, I'm actually not even practicing it right. I got to reevaluate for a sec. Or real quick. The trick in getting the right hand to land right before that, or on the note before that bass hit. So this is actually a little tricky. I'm actually possibly learning something here. That's pretty cool. You know, I think it's also partially a mindset thing. So I was treating this as I'm not sure how to describe how I was treating it. What I need to do though is my right hand at the first measure can be doing the hi-hat, right? Da, 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 da. I need to get my left hand to take its place on that second beat of the next measure. So So that's the trick. I got to get my left hand to switch to what my right hand was doing. Still getting it wrong. Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for it. Okay, so there's the transitions at the first beat of that second measure, and then right at the end. That's where the hands that are leading this bit, that's where they switch. So once I get that down, I will have this. It's that bit at the end, but I think I've got the feel of it now. And my light just turned all the way up to maximum for some reason, and it's right in my face. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going.
Let's play this one at our faster tempo. Now this last fill we're going to do,
I did not do
uses
that
a
quite right.
flam. The flam is spread between the fourth tom and the snare drum. So it's actually a left flam. And there are only 3 elements to this fill. It's the bass drum and the ride cymbal, the snare drum, and then a flam that is broken up between the floor tom and the snare drum, with the main note being on the snare drum. So that's going to be, putting that together a little faster, it's going to be. Let's play that one in the context of a group with our slow tempo. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4.
Oh, he goes so fast. He goes so fast. That one's actually pretty hard too. Uh, it's that ghost note right before the flams. That's what makes it tricky. Because then you're doing like. Oh, that is definitely something that I could use in other genres for sure. I'm going to have to practice that when I'm doing some triplet practice. Which I've been trying to practice my Bonham triplets more recently, so I can fit it in with that. With the Bonham triplet going like this. Yeah, basically a foot and two hits from, or one hit from either stick. Bonham triplet. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep going.
That one's a lot of fun to practice. So get some work on that one, and then let's do it at our faster tempo. Is a fun fill that you can use in country.
That's pretty hard.
Use that in blues or in any triplet-based music where you feel like it's appropriate. So your assignment for this lesson is to practice these 5 fills and make sure that you're using them appropriately within the different sections of the song. You can use our pea soup. That'll work great in between sections of a verse, while something like be fantastic at a moment where you really need to push the energy forward. So with that, I will see you in the next lesson, which I'm really looking forward to.
All right, so conclusion so far. I still don't really like country. I don't like listening to it, but it definitely has some elements that I can steal for some of my own music. All right, so do we have 1 or 2 videos on Disco? All right, so we just got one more video in this section, 2.5 minutes. Intro to Disco, which I've actually learned the Disco song before. The first Disco song I learned was I'm Blue. You know, I'm blue, da boo dee da boo da. It was actually a little challenging at the time because of the way I had to alternate my hands. So it was something like this, I think. And that was difficult for me at first. But I can do it now.
Hey everybody, the last section we are going to cover in level 3 is disco. Now, the question you should be asking yourself, why is Jim Riley, country drummer, covering disco? Well, first of all, I never think of myself as simply a country drummer. I think of myself as a working drummer that plays all styles. I've just happened to have a lot of success within the country genre. So disco has its roots in the soul music of the 60s, but really developed into its own style and became an absolute sensation in the mid-70s to the early 80s. During that time, that music really affected all styles. I mean, as a Kiss fan, I can tell you there wouldn't be a Kiss Dynasty record without disco. And there's a lot of country music as well that borrowed from the disco style. If you listen to any of the music from Waylon Jennings from that same time period, that 4-on-the-4 that we're going to talk about is definitely in there. So in a sense, all these styles are really related. With that said, let's get into it. The signature element of disco drumming is that 4-on-the-4 bass drum pattern. That 4-on-the-4 pattern has been getting people on the dance floor since the big band days when you had. Even in today's music, that 4 on the floor is a common element that gets people out on the dance floor, and that is the most pervasive element of the disco style. So before we get into it, your assignment is to do some listening. And for all of these genres, that's the most important thing you can do to really wrap your head around the style. I would suggest Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, Last Dance by Donna Summer, and my personal favorite, I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss off the Dynasty record featuring the great Anton Fig on drums. So just like always, post the songs and artists that you listen to in addition to the ones that I've listed in the comments section below so that other Drumeo students can learn from what you're checking out. With that said, let's get into this next section with the Disco Grooves.
Points to section that doesn't exist. He both said this is the last section and let's get to Disco Grooves, which I'm pretty sure we're not doing because the next section doesn't have disco. Oh no, wait a minute, no. Wait a minute. Why is this not listed in the list? So I was scrolling down and it was not showing it there. Okay, we're not going to do this today though. We're going to do this on Wednesday. Time for some, we did our practice time, time for some jamming. It's important to have both, yeah? Spinny, spin, spin. My mind is a mountain. I think this is Deftones. Man, my light cannot decide what setting it wants to be on. It keeps changing. And I can't reach the controls from here, so I just kind of have to deal with it. I've played this one once, but it's been a few weeks at least. Oh man, that song could not decide what tempo it wanted to be, and it started going slow out of nowhere. Oh, I forgot about that. All right. Redneck. Now, I think I'm going to re-roll on this one today. Not because it's heavy, but because I have an audience of one today. Oh. Oh, I don't think I've ever rolled this one. This is a new one. This is Trans-Siberian, and I find this song to be very, very difficult to drum to. So yeah, we're going hard mode with this one. And I think I actually turned off the metronome for this one because it wasn't keeping up with tempo changes very well, and it was actually throwing me off. So I'm going to have to play this one just by ear. I missed the dun 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 duns, but I think I can be forgiven for that because I got the final hit right on target. Yeah, I think I found a groove that worked for that one pretty quickly, so that didn't go as bad as the last time I played it. What have you done? This isn't a cover. Never mind. That was pretty fun. Karate by Baby Metal.
ひたすらせいやそうや戦うんだ拳をもっと心をもっと全部研ぎ澄ましてまだまだせいやそうや戦うんだ悲しくなって立ち上がれなくなっても走れ
Oh, that one's always fun. It's a difficult one. It's easy to make mistakes on, but it's still a lot of fun. All right, we'll find one more song that's good for a cooldown. That might not be a cooldown song. I need to update my cooldown wheel. You know what? I'm just gonna make choose one instead of relying on the wheel. No, we haven't done this one in a while.
She's been told before, no one does it like her. Automated war, I'm the newest king of your tragedy. See the consequences, it was your decision. Submit to me, my mission, praise me. Take you to my new nirvana. You got what you wanted. Runs on me, come alive. And now I'll tear you. You said I'm crazy, here's a tie. I swear I'll put you on the shame. In the end, it was just too fucking good to regret. Elevated, I'm the predator, I'm the A-class, and you made it so. I'm a god now, when I level up. Oh, think I like it, I'm so destructive. Hear my voices, and you'll realize you're wrong. Take you to my new nirvana. You got what you wanted. Runs on me, come alive. And now I'll tear you. You said I'm crazy, here's a tie. I swear I'll put you on the shame. In the end, it was just too fucking good to regret.
drifted at the end. That's okay, though. That's okay. We still have fun. And we did good for most of it. And it's always a good reminder that drums are hard, music is hard. Be kind to yourself, and go practice. And also maybe come back on Wednesday while I continue more Drumeo stuff.